What would you call 1,200 committed, fun-loving high school and college-age Lutherans gathered with their pastors and youth leaders in God's Word, our confessions, and the historic liturgies of the Christian Church? I'd call that Higher Things. What would you call the only magazine in the world that challenges young people to dare to be Lutheran? I'd call it Higher Things. What would you call an internet site offering daily devotions, blogs, and stimulating interaction between Lutheran youth and pastors? That's right, Higher Things. Higher Things is also what you'd call a network of faithful Lutheran campus ministries, providing retreats and other great resources to help college students remain rooted in their faith and better confess Christ on campus. Higher Things is devoted to assisting parents, congregations, and pastors in cultivating and promoting a Lutheran identity among our youth.
We wake up, we go to breakfast. Pretty much right after breakfast, we go to church, so we have a church service. And then we have a catechism class in the gym with everybody. You choose an in-depth section and you go to that 3 times, so it's 3 45-minute periods. And the breakaway section is just one 45-minute period. Yeah, I think you can learn a lot here, and it's just really good to be able to be so busy all day learning about God and the church and stuff.
It was the summer of 2000. And 700 youth and their chaperones were gathered at the University of Wyoming in Laramie, where Reverend Harold Sankbeil and others presented on the theme, Dying to Live. We've blossomed since 2000, but our commitment to building a solid Lutheran identity among our youth hasn't changed. We still have engaging, gospel-centered teaching by both pastoral and lay theologians, grounded, of course, on God's Word, and guided by our Lutheran confessions. We manage to fit in a healthy amount of good old-fashioned fun, remembering that God's creation and the time we are given in it are meant to be enjoyed. Kids will be kids. That is as it should be. If there is one thing that has been consistently reinforced to us since our first gathering in Wyoming, it is that Lutheran youth want to be Lutheran.
We do all sorts of things which help young people know what it means to be a Lutheran, the Lutheran doctrine, the Lutheran practices, and just be pleased to be Lutherans and to live out that life. That's what Higher Things is all about. Years ago, I was browsing in a bookstore, and I came across this book, and it had on the cover of the book a statement where the author described our society. And he said, in our culture these days, we worship our work, we work at our play, and we play at our worship. It struck me that he was probably right on, and that's a bad thing. Here at Higher Things, we don't want to do it that way. Here, instead, I get up at every conference and say to the kids, at Higher Things, when we worship, and we take very seriously the divine service. We take seriously the various services throughout the week. When we work, and that means we study the Bible. We have 100% attendance at all the catechesis sections, all the Bible studies. And when we play, we play. And so that means that when the kids are out having fun, they're having fun, and they don't worry about whether they're doing it this way or that way. They're just enjoying themselves. And I think that balance and to keep those things distinct from each other has really helped us a great deal over the years.
You won't find fun and games during a Higher Things service. Our youth are serious about worship, demonstrating a proper reverence of God, a devout appreciation for liturgical forms of worship, and a desire to receive God's gifts of life, forgiveness, and salvation.
One of the things that we try to do at Higher Things is to reinforce what's happening in local congregations so that when youth come to Higher Things Conference, they're going to experience the same kind of worship that they do at home. They're going to hear the same message of the gospel that they hear at home. That's what I treasure as a parish pastor. I get to bring my youth to Higher Things conferences, and I know that I'm not going to have to worry about what they're going to hear. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to reinforce and build on what I have talked about at home. And they're going to experience that Higher Things experience with not just the dozen youth that we have in our youth group, but 12 or 1,500 other youth who share the same Lutheran Christian faith that they do.
While all of our Higher Things efforts work together to help develop a Lutheran identity among our youth, nowhere is the desire for a Lutheran identity more evident than in our services of worship.
I love getting the chance to read through the evaluations at the end of each conference and to find out what it is that the youth are saying. There are constant praises for the preachers and the music in worship, and we have very traditional, straight out of the hymnal worship, but it is done in such a way that the youth understand that this is real. It isn't just words on a page, and so whenever you see that worship was one of the highlights for them, that's kind of cool for me. The youth also reflect a love for deep catechesis. It's obvious that they appreciate the fact that things at Higher Things aren't dumbed down for them. It's put on a level that the youth can grasp, but it is real and it is solid, because when they go back into their homes, into their schools and with their friends, they're in situations where a false faith or a weak faith or a shallow faith isn't going to accomplish much for them. They need solid stuff, and I think they appreciate that they get it at Higher Things, and they get it in a context that they also have a lot of fun. We have lots of entertainment at the conferences too.
In addition to our national gatherings, Higher Things also offers dozens of weekend retreats each year.
To sponsor an HT retreat, first of all, you need to have been to an HT retreat, at least a local congregation somewhere, and then they will contact me through the web. They can check out retreats at higherthings.org, and they can get email straight to me, which I'll get back to them in a day or so. In the next 4 to 5 years, we envision at Higher Things to do anywhere from 200 to 300 retreats per year.
In the summer of 2001, our magazine, Higher Things, Dare to be Lutheran, published its first issue and has published quarterly ever since. With its commitment to confessional Lutheran theology and practice, cutting-edge topics, and youth-oriented writing, Higher Things magazine is the only magazine of its kind in the world.
Higher Things magazine is a magazine for Lutheran youth, addressing sound biblical principles while still having a lot of fun along the way. It's cutting edge in the fact that we're not afraid to be Lutheran and to delve into meaty topics, because we think teens can handle that. And as long as we explain things clearly and try to make them understand in a way that's simple, they seem to respond to that and really enjoy it. So that's why we really like that subtitle, Dare to be Lutheran. It's a very important part of who we are.
In an age of mass information, the Internet is an invaluable tool, and Higher Things is making use of it.
MyHT is what the technical world would call a gateway. It is a custom portal into Higher Things. In Internet services, we like to speak of it as Christian freedom meeting the Internet. Kids get to decide what they want on their Higher Things start page, if you will. And we'll be offering more content each day, new content, as well as ways to connect to the blogs, to the forums, and other things that we already have going on with the website.
The newest addition to the website is we put the magazine online. You can now view the entire magazine and all the past issues right from your home on the web. We're pretty excited about that. It's called HT Online. We assist parents and pastors by providing good Lutheran materials, Bible studies, and daily devotions for youth groups and for their pastors. We assist the mission by adding all sorts of places for kids to interact, monitored, and discuss theology and kind of play and be kids. be teenagers and college students too. That's how we assist the mission and vision of Higher Things, by providing a good place for Lutheranism on the web for Lutheran youth.
Possibly one of the best services provided by Higher Things is Christ on Campus, the campus ministry arm of Higher Things. Through it, we help young people connect with other Lutheran students and Lutheran pastors as they venture out of the home and off to college.
The best thing that we're doing is helping to build a network of congregations and campus ministries that get together at our staff conferences in order to share ideas, to learn from speakers on topics of issues that affect our college students so that we're able to be ahead of the game so that we can best be equipped to teach. The retreats where we're drawing in college students, maybe that are locations where they don't have a full-time campus ministry, where oftentimes young people can feel isolated. And so we're able to build a network and helping to find avenues for them to get together and to spend time together, to gather together for worship, to study, and to have fun together.
Higher Things encourages young people to play and have fun in the world God has given them. It encourages young people to strenuously study God's Word. And especially, Higher Things encourages the young people of your church to learn, love, and value liturgical, historic, decidedly Lutheran worship. So what do you call a bunch of youth who actually want to be and care about being Lutheran? Higher Things.